Hey everyone, welcome to another video. Today is going to be the first episode of what I call Let's Talk. Okay, so now I'm going to be talking about, saw it in the title, Dungeons and Dragons. Now, Dungeons and Dragons is a very interesting role-playing game. It is a game where people, rather than like most games where it has a set rules and objectives, in this game you were technically able to do whatever. Although you might be like, hey Anthony, you can do that with almost any game. Just make up as you do. But the point of the game is really to do that, which is amazing, in my opinion. Because with that, you're basically able to do anything. And it is really cool. And it allows you to do many things. Now, as you may have seen in the title, this is like an introduction video. I'm not sure if I actually put this in the title, but yeah. So I'll get right to that in 3, 2, 1. Alright, so as I may have told you, Dungeons and Dragons is a role-playing game. Yeah. Now, you might be wondering, how do I start? Like, what is the pure basics of it? Okay, now the pure basic version of this game is literally you just make up what you do. Okay, so an example of this is if there were two people sitting at a table. On the left there will be person 1 and on the right person 2, okay? So on the left, person 1 is like, okay, you are in the middle of a forest. You see a goblin in front of you. What do you do? And person 2 is like, oh, I want to attack the goblin. Or be like, I want to go run away so that I don't get captured. Either way, that is the most basic version of Dungeons and Dragons. So if you ever want to play that, tell this to your friends or something and be like, this is how you, if you ever want to start out, if you ever want to know if you ever want to play this or something, then this is the pure basic of it. Okay? And yeah, that is about everything to Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. Now, you might be wondering, what's with all the dice? That was actually my first question, and it actually got answered pretty easily. The dice is kind of how the game factors in chance. So rather than having like just you being able to like decide on decisions and whatever, and just being able to do that, it actually allows you to have a chance of not doing it. And my sister is talking to my cat in the background. You might hear it, I'm not sure if you do, but it is loud. So I'm sorry if you do, but still. So a way this might be factored in is usually a check of some sort. Most of the time you will go into the game, and if you want to do something like see what's around you, you could do a perception check. Now, I'm going to say I'm actually pretty new to Dungeons & Dragons, but so far, even though I'm new, I still understand a lot of it. And some people might be like, oh, there's too many rules or something. It's actually surprisingly not really. You don't need to know all the rules in order to play. Which might sound really weird. It's like you wanted to play Minecraft but not know how to eat or something. But that's not what it is. All the rules are kind of equal-ish. That's the weird thing about it. Ish. It's like some rules you don't really need to know, but you may look over it once, not remember it ever again, and still be able to play, which is the really cool thing about this. Now, back to the dice, sorry. The dice, so if you wanted to look around, you could roll a d20. Now, oh geez, okay, they're playing Mario now, my sister and someone else, so you're welcome for that background noise of Mario. Let's hope I don't get copyrighted. Okay, so, basically, the dice, as in the chance, but usually you roll a d20, and a d20 is a 20-sided die. You may see like those weird polyhedral dice and be like, what? It's actually not that hard to know. 1 second. Alright, so if you were to roll a d20, you got a 16. By the way, the D is referring to dice, and then the number on the right of it is referring to the number on the die. Okay, so if you were to roll that and you got like a 16 or something, the DM, the Dungeon Master, the person that kind of sets the background of everything, is kind of able to decide the difficulty of how high you have to roll in order to do something, or something like that. So sometimes you have ability modifiers. I might get into that in another video, which will be in a little bit. But basically what I'm just gonna say is you have to get that number or a higher number of the difficulty class when rolling a d20 and adding the modifier and all that. So basically it just factors in the chance. I'll get more into that in another video, although I think I did a little bit enough, I guess. But yeah, that is basically all you need to really know about the dice. There are lots of other things that you can do with the dice, but I could get more into that in another video. And then there's the character sheets. The character sheets are very interesting. Actually, when creating a character sheet, it is surprisingly one of the most difficult things about the game. You might be like, what, really? I thought the rules would be, but actually the rules is one of the easiest. Now, I'm not saying that's actually a bad thing, because the rules are actually pretty easy. And the character sheet is, you know, there's a lot of things there. Now, in the character sheet, you have to set a lot of modifiers. You have to get all the names, the class, the race, all that. But the cool thing about it is it's like fully customizable. You can still go with like pre-generated stuff, but still, if you ever wanted to, you could customize the entire thing, which is very interesting. Now, I'm gonna get how to create that on another video. Lots of stuff like that. And I think when I'm going to do the creation of it, then it will be like with a face cam so that you can see exactly what I do. That's what I feel like is needed, because I barely understood it when I was first starting to try to create character sheets. Now, that covers a lot of the things in Dungeons & Dragons, and I would say the only thing really left is the Dungeon Master screen, and just kind of the Dungeon Master. I haven't exactly gone into that much. The Dungeon Master is the person. Remember in the beginning when I said person 1 and person 2, person 1 to the left, person 2 to the right? Person 1 would have been the Dungeon Master because he explained the background. He was like, you were in a forest with the goblin, right? He is the one who was always the enemies or non-player characters, NPCs for short, and also sets the place. Now, usually the DMs kind of have a little bit of plan in place, but most of the time they just improvise. And that's what's really cool about the game. You, like, just go on with your friends. Now, I know you might be, like, taking notes on this and all that, but I just wanted to say, this game is about having fun. So don't try to be that know-it-all that's always like, actually, you have to roll a d20 twice and then see what a higher one. And it's like, no, just have fun, okay? Now, there is no winning and losing in Dungeons & Dragons. It is just if you have a good enough story. If they died a fiery death, then your friends or something could, like, get some sort of magical spell to bring you back to life and defeat the magical dragon or whatever you're facing, or you're not even facing or something, you just fell in a giant lava pit, I don't know, but just have fun. don't fight, otherwise you'd just be a butthole, okay? So yeah, that is the first talk of Dungeons and Dragons. This is like the bare minimum of Dungeons and Dragons. And yeah. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want more Dungeons and Dragons videos, or just even more of this Let's Talk videos. It's like a kind of like a podcast, but and some of these I might actually have a face cam and whatever. They're mostly like little it's like a little talk show almost. Okay, so yeah, thank you for watching. And I got this image of Dungeons and Dragons on Google, so you can just look up Dungeons and D&D on Google and you can look at this in images. Okay, so yeah, thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe, and that. Oh wait, hit that bell notification as well. Peace out.